Good morning. I want to apologize for the technical difficulties we had this morning with today's huddle. The following is a recording of the presentations you missed. First up is Sarah Overstake, the Executive Director of the Gamble Nippert YMCA, to talk to us about the West Side. Sarah?
Hi everybody, I'm Sarah Overstake. I'm the Gamble Nippert YMCA Executive Director, and I'm talking to you today about some exciting things happening on the west side of Cincinnati. We serve many different communities over on the west side of Cincinnati, but specifically what I'm talking about today is Westwood and the Historic Business District, which has had a lot of updates and improvements over the past couple of years, and it's kind of exciting, so I thought I'd share it with you. The first thing that I'll talk about is the Westwood Town Hall Park renovation. They are actually looking at the groundbreaking happening in April. They're going to be doing a lot of renovation here to add some kids' play space, a dog park, a pavilion area, a green space. And we're looking at this as a possible opportunity to have Gamble Nippert out in the community a little more, maybe doing some group exercise classes and that kind of thing. But it'll be a really great space right there in the middle of Westwood. There's also a few fun new places to gather. If you want to drink or some food, Westside Brewing just opened about a year ago, right across the street from Westwood Town Hall. And there's also Muse Cafe, which is just down the street a little bit. They're open pretty much all day. In addition to coffee and really good food, they also have wine and drinks, and they'll have live music a lot of nights. So it's a fun place. We also have some fun new places to shop. Lilywood is a boutique. They have home decor, gift items, fun things that it's kind of a fun place to just kind of walk through and see if there's any lotion you want. Wooden Hill is it's a place that sells artwork that's locally made. So it's one of those places where they have a bunch of different sellers in a small little store. And you can get anything from artwork for the walls to pottery and jewelry and all kinds of things. And then Necessities Market hasn't opened yet, but that will be opening in that same little area. It's going to have a lot of organic food, bulk grains, pasta, nuts, and all of that, coffee. So that'll be a fun place to pick up some local items. We've also seen a lot of new events that have been fun, and these have been sponsored by Westwood Works, who really makes a lot of things in Westwood happen. Second Saturdays happened this past summer, where every month on the second Saturday, they would close down Harrison Avenue, bring in food trucks, drinks, fun games. So there was a different theme each month and different activities. And the whole area was packed every month with these activities. We did help with some of the kids' activities just to kind of be part of the community. We also have seen them sponsoring pop-up beer gardens, which happen next door to the Y at St. James Episcopal Church. They happen every couple of months, but in the spring, 2 years in a row now, and we're planning it for this year, they host a Cupcake Wars event at this beer garden, and it's a fundraiser for Gamble Nippert. So it's nice to have the community come together with a fun activity and raise a little bit of money for us. And then they also have Deck the Hall, which happens in December, and they basically light the tree at Westwood Town Hall. But they have food, games, drinks, and pictures with Santa. And then we always have a booth at that with games and crafts, so we can make sure that we're right there in the thick of it and providing some activities. And then, lastly, Westwood is celebrating its 150th anniversary, the Westwood Sesquicentennial. Try to say that 5 times fast. Basically, we are celebrating this all year long. Westwood Historical Society is putting together activities, but they also have been gathering sponsors for a Westwoodopoly game. And it's basically different streets from the community can purchase properties, And then community organizations can also be sponsors. So Gamble Nippert will be one of those that will be on the kind of the middle of the board with the other organizations and schools and everything. So we're excited that we will actually be on the game board. And then a lot of the events that happen will be kind of a partnership with Westwood Historical Society, and just to celebrate this huge anniversary that's very exciting. So that's pretty much all I've got today, just to kind of give you a little bit of an update of what we're excited about over on the west side.
Thanks, Sarah, for joining us this morning and for repeating this presentation for those that missed the call. Now, to close this up on the screen, or on your screen, you have a picture of some of our members. Take a look at them for a second. You have a senior and maybe a stay-at-home mom and kids under the age of 4 or 5, individuals that are trying to figure out what to do with their health and trying to do with their kids and their families. And as a reminder, our theme for our annual meeting was, acknowledging the fact that these people come from all sorts of backgrounds and they come to the YMCA. Many paths, one destination, the YMCA, I believe we said. And that our mission statement is to put Christian principles into practice through programs to build healthy spirit, mind, and body for all. So the idea here is all these individuals are coming from different backgrounds in hopes of becoming healthier in spirit, mind, and body. And we have specifically focused on achievement, belonging, and relationships as kind of our center mantra, believing that if we give people a place where they can meet goals and make friends and get connected to a cause, that in fact their spirits, their minds, and bodies will be stronger. Our challenge is making sure that we line up so that our voices are together pushing this idea forward, and that our voice pushes a culture that supports the achievement, belonging, and relationship of individuals, that our central values are pushed forward, the caring, the honesty, the respect, and responsibility also gets launched out there, that our voice is consistent and it does not get diffused out in the marketplace as we're showing up in classes, swim lessons, or our programs. And then finally, that our passion is being communicated, the passion for our cause, the passion for what we are trying to accomplish. Now, part of the challenge is that not everybody is on board. Change is always very difficult. So here you have perhaps a group where the leader is on board, but the followers are not quite there. And by leaders, I'm not talking about position, I'm talking about whoever is in leadership and leadership role in a group. So you could have a group that gathers for lunch, or a group of individuals that are just at a meeting, and one of the individuals is saying, I get the spirit, mind, and body focus, the achievement, belonging, and relationship, the culture, the voice, the passion, and I'm on board, and the rest of the employees perhaps are saying no. And by the way, these could be volunteers as well. Or the exact opposite, where you have the followers who are saying, yeah, we're on board, that's why we work here, and the leader saying, well, yeah, but that's not important, we can go in a different direction. You also have groups or individuals that are more interested in a particular area. Now, these aren't necessarily negative. You could have an individual, for example, at a branch that's just interested in aquatics. That's the only thing they want to talk about is aquatics, or fitness, or seniors, and not understanding that we all have something to say about each other's programs, something to say about youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility, because spirit, mind, and body is developed in any one of those areas, and achievement, belonging, and relationships can take place in any of those programs. You also have individuals that have not bought into any of this. They didn't get hired thinking that they were doing this. This is particularly true of individuals that are maybe doing something that's not so intuitively connected to spirit, mind, and body. People that clean buildings, people that pay bills, people that process payroll, or do that kind of back office stuff. These individuals may say, no, I'm just here to work and get my job done so I can leave, and not understand that there's an alignment that needs to take place. This group is the most difficult group, the group that looks the part on the outside, but on the inside, they've got their own agenda. And not that there's anything wrong with bringing your own skills, talents, influence, and wisdom to the table. But I do think it's something to be said, especially if we're trying to push together an agenda that makes transformation possible for a lot of folks. And of course, these are the teams back at the branches that are working every day, people in our programs, people that are teaching swim lessons, and they're going through the same process. And our ability to line up will make it more possible for them if we can get our act together as leaders. So how do we do that, and why is it so complicated? Recently I came across this quote where an individual is trying to outline why it's so difficult to make change, and he juxtaposes comfort or discomfort and growth. And he says comfort isn't just physical, it's a state of mind. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous because it makes it so easy for us to stay put. And he goes on and says, when you're comfortable, you're not challenging the world around you or even engaging with it. You're simply blending in. And I think it's absolutely critical that we understand that the message that we bring to the community, the message of stronger spirit, mind, and body, the message of achieving, belonging, and relating, is not a common message. It's not a message the world is necessarily looking for. They want to be stronger in spirit, mind, and body, but making that leap into that space or making friends or connecting to a cause becomes very, very difficult for some. So what should it look like for us? Well, maybe it would look like this. Now, if you notice, there's multiple colors for individuals, giving room for the individual's likes and tastes, but also saying, look, we're going to have to get aligned. And it is why the early leaders of the YMCA chose John 17:20 as their verse, because they knew that how difficult it was to make that happen, but also how transformational. If you look at any of our old buildings, the John 17:20 verse, John 17:21, it appears in many, many of our writings, that all of them may be one, that all of the staff and volunteers and members and participants all working on one thing, creating change in our community, strengthening the foundations of our community. But look at what Jesus said before he made that statement. He says, my prayer is not for them alone. I pray also for those who will believe through their message. He believes that, or he was thinking about the people further down the line, the very members, the very individuals that come into our buildings. Because he knew that in order for their lives to be transformed, we needed to get lined up. Our voice, our culture, our values, our passion needed to line up around this notion that if we create spaces where people can meet goals, make friends, and connect to a cause, that their spirit, their minds, and their bodies will be strengthened. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me pray for us. God, thank you so much for the opportunity that you give us to be part of an organization that believes in the transformation of people. Thank you for individuals that show up every day to help individuals meet goals, make friends, and connect to our cause. Thank you for the individuals that are serving here in Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky, around the country, and around the world. Amen.